You see this thing here? This doom scroll device? This thing's supposed to be a tool, not your life's mission. Whether we admit it or not, we all do it. You do it, I do it, Melly does it. We sit here all the time on these damn things and we doom scroll. The social media feed is always sharing this highly curated versions of their lives to make you feel like somehow you aren't living correctly because you're missing out on being out there in the great outdoors. You're being sold a bill of goods that's absolute bullshit. They aren't actually living their lives. It's all clickbait to get you to watch it. You sit there and scroll and then you feel depressed because you feel like you haven't accomplished a damn thing. So ironically, while you're watching this, probably on a mobile device, go ahead and put down the phone for a minute. I want to share with you something that's near and dear to Melly and I. Now, Melly's away this weekend taking care of her mom, so it's just going to be us, just you and me, okay? This is honestly what I believe, 100%. I noticed along my own journey motorcycling that I don't see a lot of the younger generation riding, which is really disappointing to me. I really wanted to make this video as kind of a generational outreach and introduce this culture of motorcycling that Melly and I love so much to others, to those that may feel overwhelmed or even lost by the weight of it all. So as a kid, I read this book called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. It's funny, I read that before I even threw a leg over a motorcycle. So the point of the story there is not about maintaining the bike. The analogy of this long trip, this long ride out on a motorcycle and having to stop every night to do maintenance on the bike is an analogy for having to go through life and you have these issues that come up that you've got to maintain in order to continue on life's journey. The irony is that, yeah, kind of to the right people, it is about motorcycles. But it's also about life. There's this metaphysical transformation that happens when you ride the motorcycle. And it's hard to explain, but like after you first start riding and you get beyond becoming a beginner with it, when you get to the point where you're on a long ride, you stop thinking about things like how much clutch, how much throttle, things that are mechanical of the motorcycle, and this weird thing happens, like it becomes an extension of you. And until you ride it, it's very hard to describe. And this is why people go on these long journeys. It isn't just to ride the bike and to get from point A to point B. What happens is like you start smelling and experiencing all of this visceral stuff. You feel not just the wind blowing in your face, you actually, you feel the pressure change when you go up and down through the mountains. You can feel the temperature change just from a small dip in a valley, or if you ride beside a lake or something. You smell the fresh air from the countryside, or sometimes the stinkiness, you drive past a cow farm or something, it smells like shit. This all happens. It's all visceral. It's real. It puts you in the moment. The thing that is hard to quantify about riding motorcycles, it's something that no screen will ever replace. It is this quiet time. By that, I mean you hear all of this stuff, this visceral input. Your brain just starts to drift off. You're completely in control. The bike just becomes part of you. Think of it like a really good blues guitarist, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, Kenny Wayne Shepherd. If you watch these guys play, they're not thinking about every individual note. It just comes out of them. The guitar is now part of their body, and it transcends the physical and becomes metaphysical. It becomes a conduit for their soul. And it sounds corny as hell, and I'm not blowing smoke up your ass and telling you a bunch of bullshit, but that's exactly what it's like on a long ride and all the back roads when you're riding a motorcycle. You get this visceral feel that you can't replace with any screen. But you start being present in the moment and you start thinking about your life. And it's this two-wheeled therapy that a lot of people talk about. Something that if you don't ride, you just don't understand it. And it's what I wanted to share with the younger generation, because I think they feel like there's this hurdle to entry, and there's not. The other part of being a biker, motorcycling, is that you have a family. I'm not talking about, blood brothers and sisters. I'm talking about people who aren't going to cancel you for what you fucking think. They don't really give a shit because you all share the same risk on the road. Motorcycling isn't inherently safe. You can mitigate the risk as much as you can. You can also get clobbered by a bus walking down the street too. Life has risks in it. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that there aren't risks, but you know what? There's a massive amount of reward on the other side of it. You get a purpose of belonging. And let me tell you a little story about when I first started riding. I mean, I literally had just bought my first motorcycle. My dad helped me get it. It was an '86 Honda Magna, probably way more bike than I needed to have as a kid. Back then, you didn't need to take an MSF course. You could just take the written test, get your license, and go out and ride. And that's literally what I did. So on a weekend, I was out practicing, a little farm town called Brookville, close to where I grew up. So I'm there in town, fueling up at a Swifty gas station, getting ready to go out and ride in the countryside, and this large group of motorcycles. We're talking about probably 100 at least. Bikers all come into the gas station. You know, the kind of biker gang dudes you see on TV and the movies tell you they're all outlaws and stuff like that. But you know what I found? These are some of the most friendly, nice, helpful people you've ever met in your entire life. I'm a complete kid at this point, a stranger, not even on a Harley. Now, not all these guys had Harleys, but there are a lot of them there. A lot of guys with the vests on, you know, the patches, all that stuff that you see, the outlaw bikers and all that kind of crap. A lot of that stereotype bullshit. They had a covered bridge ride and they invited me on it. In between Ohio and Indiana, you have all these covered bridges in the rural countryside that you would never see from the highway, from a car. So I go on this ride, we go over all these covered bridges. It's great, it's wonderful. So we stop in this little town along the way. And man, I pulled into this parking lot on the approach ramp and we were going slow because I'm single file behind a bunch of other motorcycles. I had the handlebars turned too tight, going really slow and being an amateur, and I dropped the bike. Everybody does. Whoever tells you they don't is probably lying to you. And I'm not gonna bullshit you. I dropped my bike. I dropped my bike in front of at least 100 dudes on motorcycles. You know what? They didn't cancel culture me. They didn't fucking make fun of me and point down and laugh at me. You know what they did without even thinking? Man, they got off their bikes. They walked over, they helped me pick up my motorcycle. No judgment. They didn't give me shit at all. All they did is say, "You okay, man?" And you know, I was like, yeah, thanks for helping me pick up my bike. I felt like a dipshit, but you know what? They didn't give me any crap about it. They're like, it happens to everybody, man. As long as you're cool, that's all that we care about. Then they all walked around the bike, made sure it was all in good working order. Thankfully, I didn't do hardly any damage to it. I had a couple of scrapes on a turn signal and I bent the clutch lever, stuff that was easily fixed. But I learned a valuable lesson. Well, two actually. A little bit more training would have helped. Bikers are a family. If you're broke down on the side of the road, you put a helmet behind your motorcycle, some guy on a bike is gonna come and help you. But this is something that damn doom scroll device that everybody seems addicted to, ironically, is what you're watching probably this video on, doesn't give you the perspective of life. And for me and for Melly, riding motorcycles does. It is beyond freedom. It is a culture that you become part of. It's a family. It's something that I don't think younger people in younger generations are even being made aware of. Listen, I don't really give a fuck if this video ever goes viral. I just wanted to sincerely have a little bit of outreach to Gen Z and some of the younger generations. The title of the video is kind of a play on the title of the book, why I kind of want you to go check it out. But you know what? It doesn't matter to me. The whole point of this is to get the message out. I want people that are younger to ride, to experience what Melly and I hold so dear, to enjoy this lifestyle, you know, go out and find an old bike. If you don't know how to fix it, look around and talk to people and find someone that can help you. YouTube, believe it or not, is a great resource. I mean, I make videos fixing crap all the time. Go look for that first motorcycle, get out there and ride. You'd be surprised at what you'll find of yourself and where the bike will take you.